But soon, if they were to establish this Copenhagen Treaty, then it would become an actual government that would be unelected and so will be taxed without representation. Yeah, taxation without representation. Now, doesn't that hearken to what I've been talking about this whole time? You know, the founding fathers. Okay, I'm done. But it's an unelected representation. There's actually no representation, I'm sorry. There's an election within that council, basically, to elect members into them. But basically, we don't have any say. No country's people, sorry, has any say. So this would expand into a new government with the United Nations and the United Nations Security Council. Why do you think there's an IMF and a World Bank? They want to have their own currency. I've talked about the special drawing rights, SDRs. So they already have a basic fiat system that hasn't really been used yet. You know what I mean? Nobody uses it as a currency, but it's still a medium of exchange for different countries. China can buy into it. The United States, Britain, take that back. Now they're part of the European Union. Anyway, actually, as of about a month or two ago, they're now fully a member of the European Union. So they have no sovereignty, just like all the other countries. Europe is now one country. I don't know how really to explain it except to say that the different countries of the European Union are basically states as related to the United States, you know what I mean? But then again, Switzerland, as an example, has its own regions. Now you could call those counties. You see what I'm saying? Anyway. So I just want to make sure that you understand that Copenhagen is a lot more than just climate change. It's the idea of creating a new government. The problem with this is that it's still a treaty. Therefore, the Senate would have to write it off. They'd have to say, yeah, we're all for it. And the president obviously has to sign it. I don't think the House has anything to do with it. But anyway, but that's for treaty law, and I don't understand that very much. Okay, I was told to talk about the Person of the Year. Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Okay, it made me very mad, to say the least. Ben Bernanke is Person of the Year. Okay. He's the, Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke is going to be, he's probably going to be confirmed for another 4 years as the chairman. And he's basically been said to be the one to stave off the crisis, you know, the recession. So it's been diverted, you know, like it's now gone. And I'm like, are you kidding me? The new jobs figures just came out. It's now, I think it's over 21%. And this is, you know, not the normal figure that they use. It's more like 10% or 11% that they're using. But if you take into account people that aren't looking for jobs anymore, that kind of thing, working part-time, it's more like 21%. It's called a jobless recovery, they say. Just look at me. Do you believe this? Are you kidding me? Jobless recovery. What is a jobless recovery? I've never heard of this until like recent propaganda. Jobless recovery. Okay, Ben Bernanke basically lowered the interest rates for money coming back into the banks, back into the Federal Reserve. They basically, they are the ones that loan out money to banks and the government, and in order to make money as a bank, the Federal Reserve is a bank, I've gone over this before, in order to make money, they ask for interest, right? I mean, what business doesn't do that? Or what bank doesn't do that? You know, if you loan out money, you know, you ask for like 5% in interest. So what's happening is they lowered the interest rate so that banks could continue to loan out money to individuals such as you and me. But basically this is a bad thing because it's basically artificially lowering interest rates in order to stabilize the economy. Now the problem is it's still under 1/4%. I just heard this last night too. So the interest rates are now from anywhere from 0 to 1/4%. That's nothing. So you're basically getting free money as a bank from the Federal Reserve Bank to loan to other individuals and charging exorbitant amounts of money, such as 30% on a charge card. 30%. You know how much I'm getting charged on one of my cards? You don't want to know. Because I don't want to know. Look, this is wrong. What will happen is they will eventually have to raise the interest rates back to nominal numbers, such as 5%, 10%, whatever it was, in which the money supply will dwindle, in which we're going to have a big freaking recession or depression. The money supply, am I right about that? Yeah, I guess so. But basically, you know, there will be no liquidity. And so basically, artificially lowering interest rates. This is the whole premise of having the Federal Reserve taken out in the first place. If you artificially raise and lower interest rates just to stabilize the economy, boom it, and then bust it again after you take in the money, then you know you're causing the depression as the central bank. So this, again, this is the whole reason why you want to have a hard money, you know, have real currency. I've been trying to think of a way to draw this on the board, and I still have no real way of showing it, except to say that, you know, if you lower the interest rate, let me try to draw this out. All right, let's see. Okay. Fed. Ooh, okay. And then, again, you know, it has different banks. Well, it loans out to different banks. I'm sorry. There are 12 Federal Reserve banks, but that really has no bearing on the fact that the Federal Reserve is one entity. So let's say this is Bank of America, this is, I don't know, Chase, and what else we have? Capital One, that's a 1, not an I. Okay. The Federal Reserve, let's say that their normal interest rate is 5%. They're going to send these guys 100% of whatever money. Let's say it's $1,000.